Hello friends, you are on the channel about life and business in Poland. My name is Vitali. I have been living in Poland for 8 years, and for most of this time I have been helping people develop their businesses. And in this video we will talk about a very popular question. At the moment, it's about how to close a company. Let's get straight to the point. And I will tell you about 3 ways to close a company, but at the end of the video, I will talk about more interesting ways of what else can be done with a company. Because under closing a company, in reality, sometimes the issue is simply to get rid of some expenses, headaches, and so on. That is, you just need to relieve yourself of the responsibility for the company and that's it. But it's not necessary to close it. You just want to not worry about it anymore, to pass it on to someone else, so to speak. And that's what we'll talk about. But first, I'll answer the question of how to close a company officially on the website. There are 3 options that they themselves mention as ways to close a company, which are bankruptcy, liquidation, and reorganization when the company changes its format. The first 2 are the most popular. I'll focus a bit less on bankruptcy. That is, for a company to declare itself bankrupt, it must be in a situation where it cannot pay certain obligations. For example, if partners send invoices and it cannot pay them, it declares itself bankrupt. That is, if a company has no prerequisites, such as owing nothing to anyone, then in theory, it cannot declare itself bankrupt. Accordingly, if you have been sent invoices and you feel that you can't manage, it's the best time to do it. This doesn't mean that you should do it, and it doesn't mean that you'll easily get rid of everything. These things won't be resolved without paying money, but nevertheless, that's the procedure. You are sent bills, you don't pay them, and then you say, we are bankrupt. Now let's talk about the liquidation procedure when everything is fine with the company, but for some reason, the company has decided to liquidate itself, or rather, the owners have decided to liquidate the company. There can be many reasons for this. That is, for example, the company might have been initially opened for a specific period. The company might have achieved the goals for which it was created. Or for other reasons, the owners might decide to close it, or the court might decide that your company needs to be liquidated. Perhaps you or one of your owners made a significant mistake. Well, let's take a simple situation. That is, suppose you decided to liquidate the company, and what's next? What procedure awaits is important. We have prepared a link to the official source so that you can read the entire procedure on the official website and see all the details. But in general, how about I describe the overall picture to you now? So, first you make a resolution. That is, you make a resolution that such an agreement has been made to liquidate the company. Next, you make changes to the state register in the KRS. There. You know that in Poland there is an open register of all companies, right? And there will be a note that the company is in the process of liquidation. And here it is very important, guys, during the liquidation process. How long can this process last? Well, for example, my acquaintance is closing a company, and he has been closing it for a year already. Yes, this is unpleasant news, and the process of closing a company, why I say that, I will tell you more interesting ways at the end. It can last a very long time, it can last a year, it can last longer. How much can this entire procedure cost? I also talk to lawyers. Some say 10,000 zlotys, some say 20,000, some say less, and some don't take it on at all. Some people liquidate it themselves. In total, we made a resolution that we want to close the company to liquidate it. We announced in the state register that our company is now in liquidation status. Now is the time to settle all debts and wrap up all matters during the company's liquidation process. Fulfill all obligations, make a public announcement that the company is in the process of liquidation so that all creditors, meaning everyone you owe, can come to you, knock, and ask for their money. In other words, it's the right time. This process involves selling off all the company's assets, settling all obligations, and laying off all employees so that everything within the company is addressed neatly. What is also important before starting the liquidation is that accountants prepare a balance sheet, dates. They create a balance sheet to show the current financial situation at that moment in time. This is the balance sheet at the start of liquidation. Then the entire liquidation process proceeds. At the end, when you have already completed everything, sold everything, and fulfilled all obligations, you can actually close the company. A final balance sheet is made and unsold. Assets are divided. The remaining assets are distributed among the owners. And then another application is submitted to the state registry, stating that the company is liquidated. That's it. The company is closed. Another important nuance. Before starting the liquidation, it is essential to select the people who will be responsible for the liquidation. That is, this is also a nuance because it doesn't happen by itself. Someone has to run around the offices, communicate, and sort out relations with contractors. Someone has to be responsible for the entire liquidation process. There are specially trained people who handle this, such as lawyers, legal experts, and specialized liquidation specialists. And if there is no one, then, well, out of the box, the board members are responsible for this, yes, especially the press. Accordingly, if a separate specialist is not found, the board members are responsible for it. And so, as I already mentioned, this procedure can take a year. This doesn't mean that you will have to perform procedures every single day. No, it's a slow-moving process with a lot of formalities and paperwork. Well, unfortunately, it's something you have to go through. But as I mentioned at the beginning, there are more interesting ways to get rid of this company. The first option is freezing, if you might need your company in the future. And the second is selling if you want to get rid of it entirely. Few people know about this, and for some reason, few take advantage of it. I hope you'll give us a like and subscribe to our channel for this. So, freezing a company. What does the process look like? Essentially, this is mostly done, well, usually through a notary. You tell the notary that you want to freeze the company. It can be frozen for up to 2 years, and if you wish, you can continue this freeze. Essentially, the notary prepares the documents for you, you sign them, send him the originals, and he declares that your company is frozen. There are still certain obligations that the company must fulfill during the freeze, but most expenses can be eliminated. That is, the company must maintain its legal address, and it still has to submit an annual financial report, even if it's all zeros. Well, and possibly there are some other obligations. Maybe you've accumulated some VAT or something else. There are some other obligations. What should not be on the company. That is, before the freeze, all employees must be definitely dismissed from the company. You need to dismiss the employees, and then you can freeze the company. Overall, this process is not complicated and is done fairly quickly. And if in the future your company might be useful to you, then it's much better to freeze it now so that later, when you want to unfreeze it in the same way, just in the opposite direction, or sell it. And let's actually talk a little bit about sales. I'll immediately say that here I have a schedule for 4 videos, and one of them is actually called How to Prepare a Company for Sale. And there will be interesting tips on what you should do right away, how to make it easier and more effective to sell the company later, making it more appealing and financially attractive for your buyer so that you can sell it at a higher price. But now I'll outline the process in a few words. In general, it's very good if your company is registered through S24 in electronic format. It's very good for both the old owners and the new owners to have profiles with UFAN and EPOAP. Then this procedure can be done independently, even without a notary, without anyone. You simply sign the purchase and sale agreement online, stating that you are selling your shares. You sign various resolutions, attach new addresses for correspondence, the residence of board members, and the addresses of the owners. Essentially, it's a similar process to registering a company. That's it. It's sent to the state registry. And in 2 to 4 weeks, the process is complete. Congratulations, your company is now transferred to another person or other people. Next, there are still formalities on how to transfer the account, how to transfer various documents and accounts. We will discuss this in detail in the next videos. To not miss the next videos, subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode. To be continued. Subtitles.